This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
Yes, definitely was an exciting time to go out to New Mexico and see our young men play hard. I definitely thought in the first half, after the first drive, our young men adjusted a little bit. I was never nervous. They had a good look in their eyes, and then we did a nice job of forcing 3 and outs. I had 2 turnovers, and I thought we were really playing at a high level. Very locked in and focused. And then you get to halftime, and we had a lot of young men that were really, I hate to say the word, but drained a little bit when it came to the acclimatization of the weather. But the thing that encouraged me was how they were willing to fight. Did not have the results part of that I wanted when you look at statistics. But to see how our young men that were cramping was fighting to get back in, wanted to help us win this game. The mental toughness is what stuck out when I watched the film. And we created 4 turnovers, and we responded at the right time. And so, we still got to improve on some things, but I definitely am excited about what I saw, especially in the first half. And like I said, seeing in the second half how we fought. And guys was really fighting to get back in, drinking fluids, doing whatever they needed to do to help us win a football game, and we were able to accomplish that. When you look at New Mexico State, they're a very good football team. They won their last game against UTEP and had a bye week this past week. And watching their film, the quarterback, they have 2 quarterbacks. We'll find out which one will start. But then you look at their running backs. They got a Jason Huntley. He's very explosive. He does a great job of creating and making young men miss. We're going to have to do a good job, corralling him. I'm real impressed with their receivers. They've done a nice job being able to catch the ball deep down the field. And then the O-line, they really come off the ball. So, just another great opportunity for us as we head back to New Mexico. We had some good film study, was able to get ahead on Sunday in learning about this team. And at this time, I'll take any questions.
Coach, you mentioned last week your team didn't finish. Did they apply that into last week's practice, and how do you think they finished against New Mexico?
Well, I thought we made a strong effort to finish, and I thought the focus was there. What we saw on the sideline was young men really battling. Drinking fluids. We had a lot of young men cramping up. I think you saw, a couple of series, it seemed like it stopped every 2 or 3 plays because we had a young man laying on the ground. But the thing I saw on the sideline, those young men made an effort to get back in the game. And so for me, when you rotate, you're starting to rotate guys, it definitely makes you adjust your play calling. We had to put some young men in there to make sure we had 11 on the field. And so at that point, I was just encouraged just to see when our offense was doing a great job, which Coach Dilliam did an awesome job Saturday, to see my guys getting with Barry, our trainer, and saying, I want to go back in the game. I want to go back in the game. To me, that's a mental hurdle that I'm really excited to see that we jumped because nobody really wanted to sit out. From Solomon Ajayi, I'm so proud of him because, like I said, he easily could have said, you know what, Coach, I'm just too tired. Brandon Tillman, Coach, I'm just too tired. But those young men battled and fought, and I can name names: Elijah Benton, Isaac Steele. You talk about our corners. I mean, they fought. Our D-line. I mean, everybody was fighting to get back in the game. And so, to me, I'm looking at the big picture of we're building something special. These young men were willing to sacrifice, to fight, to get back in the game. And not only that, but they were encouraging the young men that were in the game. To see our young men encourage a Javon Scruggs, that we believe in you. I think as a true freshman, that spoke volumes to him to hear the encouragement. So, I'm really excited. We got a long way to go. We still got to improve, but we are getting better.
As far as the execution on the field, first half to second half, do you kind of not trash the second half because of the circumstances,
No.
but I mean, do you kind of take what you're seeing on film with a grain of salt, given the circumstances, I guess?
Well, like I said, you guys know how Coach Gill, we meet on Sundays, and we actually met this morning. And I think the great point he made was that we are improving. When you look at the first half, we played really good. And then, like I said, we kind of saw some things at halftime that made us prepare may have to use our backups. And then, of course, we all know that New Mexico wasn't going to lay down. They were going to come out fighting. And so it was a little mixture. I think the thing that probably disappointed me the most was some of the mental breakdowns we had in coverage more than anything. That simple things. It wasn't nothing new that New Mexico did. We was not disciplined with our eyes, especially in two pitchers that were very blatant. You saw guys wide open. That can't happen. The other things, effort, I can understand. You may miss a tackle, this will happen, but we cannot give up wide open plays, and we haven't done that yet this year, where it hurt us and it caught up with us in this game. To me, overall, I'm very excited where we're headed. We got to continue to stay healthy, have a great week of practice this week.
Your cornerback depth was tested in the second half. How much are you weighing on making sure everyone's available for Saturday, so that way if there is depth tested again, you're not having to throw Corbin Jackson out there at cornerback, a guy who you initially recruited at cornerback, in there for multiple snaps at that position?
Well, it really going to boil down to our young men and their mindset right now. We're thankful all of them look like they're going to be prepared to help us this weekend. We all got to do a better job of making sure we're drinking fluids and eating fruit. In my 15-plus years, I never had a water bottle in my pocket, but I did in the second half. Just because, it was an adjustment. So now that we know that, I'm really excited about how our young men came in yesterday. They've been coming in today. Barry and the training staff, Miss Melissa, nutritionist, they've done a great job of giving our young men information. We've had young men come up and get fruit. They're wearing out the Powerade. So that lets me know we learned from what happened this past Saturday, so we're going to do our best to make sure we are prepared for this Saturday.
Coach Daly mentioned last week that the offense can help your unit out by doing their end of the job. So how much did that help your unit, your guys, and just motivate them as you're getting a couple stops there in the first half last week, and then you look up, it's 14-7, 21-7, 28-7.
Well, our defense, we always believe in our offense. We see them every day at practice, and we know they are an explosive offense. And so you're right. Our guys got motivated. They got jacked up. They were more determined to, hey, our offense is playing well. We got to do our part. Like I said, in the second half, it was – you're going to need a whole team effort. They were encouraging us. They were letting us know, hey, guys, keep playing, keep playing. When guys got injured, we had offensive guys coming, hey, we believe in you. You're going to be all right. So you're right. It takes a team effort. We don't think of it as a term that they got to do this, we got to do that, because we all know the game can go either way. It can be a defensive battle one week. It can be an offensive shootout the next week. Our special teams did a great job of playing. And like I said, I felt like that first half was one of the best I've seen since I've been here, especially on the road, of our guys just playing together.
5 takeaways, including the punt block. With the 4 picks your defense had, was there any similarities in those 4 plays?
Similarities?
Getting the picks, not so much what Mexico's doing.
Yeah, similarities where I think we got young men that understand how to play the ball in the air. When you look at Isaac Steele, 2 of his picks were just ball awareness picks. I mean, just really reading the quarterback, anticipating it, and taking a chance. You look at Elijah Benton, he was a young man that has improved drastically to where now I think he can be a presence. Definitely disappointed in the play he gave up in the middle. But as we talk through it, it's something that he's going to learn from. He has to time his jump up better. But I know he's made drastic strides when it comes to his ball skills and his ability to play in space. So, it was really encouraging to see our guys take that next step of trusting what they see, having that awareness, and then going to make a play on the ball. We haven't seen that, to be honest, we haven't seen that in a while. And I think we're starting to see that, and you're going to see more and more of that with that talent that we have here.
Yeah, we talk about the yards, but, I mean, you almost kind of say forget the yards for a minute here. We got 4 takeaways, and you ended the game basically with an interception. Are you kind of more focused on that and some of those positives that you were able to accomplish?
Yes, I'm always going to focus on the positive. My biggest thing is our unit getting better, and are they improving, and am I seeing the patterns and actions telling me, Coach, we want to get better, and I'm seeing that. I'm seeing young men that when we practice, no matter what we tell them we have to do, from circuit to thud to we got to get better, that's why we're doing more of this, there's no complaints. Coach, whatever we need to get done, Coach, we want to be better. And that's half the battle, as we all know. And for me, what I'm starting to see is we got some young men that we brought in that's really starting to gel with the guys we already have. And so as we continue to do that, you got to realize a majority of our young men didn't get here that's playing a lot on the field until June. And so we're still trying to get them to know who we are, know who the young men that they're playing with are. And so I'm excited because everybody's starting to believe and come together.
Keith Best is a young guy that was heavily recruited coming out of high school. Obviously got injured there in senior year and redshirt last year. Where is he in his progress and getting back, and how close is he to maybe getting into the rotation?
Well, with the knee injury that he had out of high school, and then he re-aggravated that his redshirt year, he's still progressing, and we've seen improvement. I think, sitting down with Coach Roberts, it's all about him just continuing to trust the process. That can be tough because, like you said, he was a highly recruited young man, had SEC offers. We know that he can play. And mentally on the field, he's shown that he's going to have that presence. It's just, once again, trusting the process. So you can't never put a timetable on that when it comes to the young man, when it comes to knee injuries and those type of things. But I can tell you he's been working hard for us.
With New Mexico State, what are the biggest challenges they present to you? It looks like, they got 3 backs that are very capable, little quarterback questions, but what are some of the biggest things that catch your eye?
Well, it's going to boil down to us being able to be physical in the run game. Because, like as you stated, they have 3 backs, so they can go from 1 to 2 to 3 and see which one can get hot. And we're going to have to be consistent. I told our defense on Sunday, when you look at our first 4 games, you would say first half we've been very competitive in all 4 games in the first half. What we're going to have to do is carry it out in the second half. And so. For us, it's going to boil down being physical in the run and also keeping the ball in front.
Coach, is your true freshman, Javon Scruggs, ahead of schedule, and what are your expectations for him the rest of this season?
Meeting him during the recruiting process, I always knew something was special. He's wise beyond his years when it comes to the football field, and I think that's very you see that even when he was at Appomattox, to lead a team to 3 state championships, he has something to him. And so I wasn't surprised with his mental maturity coming in. I think what I have been very pleased with is his ability to respond. Most young men, when they maybe have a little difficulties in camp, the next day it may weigh on him. He knew early, and he's shown us early, he knew how to shake things off. And so with that, as he got better and better, his confidence just got better and better. If he gave up a big play, he came back and made a big play. And so I think that's what we're seeing. I would not be shocked if he's more determined this week to show not only us, but just everybody that he's a good football player. That's the mindset that he has. And most true freshmen don't have that like he has at this stage in their career. They normally develop it, but you can tell mentally it means something to him, and it's hard to shake that young man. Coach Doug Smith done a great job in building him into being a good football player at the collegiate level.
Do you expect him to play some cornerback in the rotation Saturday then?
Well, yeah, we always planning to play him. It all depends on how the game goes. He's doing a great job in showing us each week that we can rely on him. But of course, depending on how the game goes and how things presents itself in the passing game, will determine how much he plays.